covering everything you couldn't see when you were doing it. We need proper information, please.
to the place, a place with fruit on. This place in my dreams, this place is in my head all day. River, river runs wide. Take me to the place where the grass is green, oh yeah. To the place where the bees never sting. This place in my dreams, this place is in my head all day, where the grass is green, oh yeah. Now I be, now I be, now I be, now I be, and now I be, and now I be, now I be, yeah. To the place where there's no conformity, to the place, a place of liberty. This place in my dreams, this place is in my head all day, where there's no conformity. This place in my dreams, this place is in my head all day, where there's no conformity. Now I be, 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 to the place where we talk without rights, to the place where even winter is warm, to the place where music is played all day, to the place where we sit next to God. Now I be.
Miss Maria, you good? So, very good morning to you once more and welcome. We're here at the Veneta Stadium, where in a moment we will witness, that is, the official opening of the 9th edition of the SWAKOPMUND International Trade Expo, 2024 edition of this event. Of course, the last event took place in 2022, the 8th edition, and this time around, of course, due to a couple of delays, seeing, and that is the hosting of the 9th edition of this SWAKOPMUND International Trade Expo. As you can see behind me, various dignitaries are gathered ready to witness this official opening. Of course, various dignitaries from cabinet to those who have arrived from Botswana as well as Ghana, as the 5th session of the Joint Permanent Commission of Cooperation is currently also underway, and of course will conclude today here in the coastal town of SWAKOPMUND. My name is Ndishi Shamfung. It's always a pleasure, always a delight being in your company as we, of course, bring you this important occasion. It is the official opening of the 9th edition of the SWAKOPMUND International Trade Expo, and that program kicks off in a bit. Of course, I understand that Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, the President of the Republic of Namibia, has arrived, and we are awaiting the arrival of our guest of honor for this morning's official event, where he will officiate. That's Dr. MOKGWEETSI MASISI, President of, that is, Botswana. He will be in attendance and of course will be officiating at this important occasion. We are here at a tent that is just set up next to the main exhibition area. As you can see behind me, it is quite the event, it's quite the setup. People are ready to witness this official opening. They have gathered from far and wide to be, of course, be here with us this morning to witness this important occasion. As mentioned, Dr. MOKGWEETSI MASISI is the guest of honor at this official opening of the 9th edition of this Swaitex event, and he will be, of course, officiating alongside, that is, Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, the President of the Republic of Namibia. But let me just give you a brief idea of what you can expect as we will commence in a bit. Of course, as of 10 o'clock, we are expecting, well, it is already 10 o'clock, we're expected, of course, the event to kick off with anthems by the Namibia Defense Force Military Band, but there seems to be a slight delay. We understand that Dr. Masisi is on the way. President Mbumba is already here, and certainly things will kick off in a bit. As you can hear from there, matter of fact, speaking right now, we do see Dr. Masisi arriving. That's President of the Republic of Botswana. He is just making his way here at the Veneta Stadium, where in a bit, of course, things will kick off. I believe the team is trying to get those shots and will be giving us a visual of the president disembarking from his vehicle as he just made his way here at the Veneta Stadium. This is the official opening of the 9th edition of the SWAKOPMUND International Trade Expo for this year, seeing efforts towards building on that partnership between Namibia and Botswana. Botswana, a guest participant at this year's event. 2 years ago, Zambia was the guest participant. We saw those relations between then President Hage Geingob and Hakainde Hichilema, of course, present here. As you will see on your screens, you will see that is Dr. Masisi disembarking from the vehicle. He is, of course, making his way for a brief meet and greet with the Namibia Chamber of Commerce and Industry directors in a holding area where before they officially commence with the program this morning. And as I made reference to, of course, the NDF military band will be kicking off proceedings this morning with, that is, the national and African Union anthems. Furthermore, we are expecting a prayer, and then there's we'll see the welcoming remarks by the first citizen of the Irongo region. That's Neville Andre Itope will be, of course, starting off or kicking off proceedings here this morning. Furthermore, we are expecting remarks by Logos Hope. We are expecting remarks by the main sponsors of Swaitex 2024 to, of course, also speak here. And then that will be followed by a statement by the President of the Namibia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, that's Mr. BC Quirab. Of course, furthermore, we're expecting some entertainment, and then the introduction of our guest of honor, that's Dr. Masisi, and that introduction will be done by President Dr. Nangolo Mbumba. That's pretty much what the program looks like this morning, but we do have, of course, special structures set up here at the Veneta Stadium, which is really symbolic, and of course, in a bit, you will find out what I'm talking about. That's in a bit. We'll also witness the ribbon cutting, which will indicate the official opening of Swaitex 2024. This will be done by the guest of honor, that's Dr. MOKGWEETSI MASISI, President of the Republic of Namibia. Thereafter, we'll witness the touring of the exhibition stalls. As I mentioned, there are a number of exhibitors here, not only locally, but of course internationally as well. And I must say, it is quite an impressive setup inside the exhibition venue. Other than that, we are expecting a presidential business luncheon, which is strictly by invitation. That's pretty much what it looks like as far as the program is concerned. And we'll, of course, kick off things here in a bit. That is the official opening of the 9th edition of the SWAKOPMUND International Trade Expo, taking place right here at the Veneta Stadium here in SWAKOPMUND. Do stay tuned as we, of course, bring you all of those proceedings. But that's not only the only productions currently happening. If you switch to NBC2, you would see the Kurenkuru Expo is also underway. That is at the town of Kurenkuru in the Kavango West region, another important platform for that particular part of the country. And you can, of course, tune in to those official opening as the Kurenkuru Expo also kicks off this morning. Furthermore, of course, the CEO Forum also had their event of late, and the NBC will be bringing you a delayed broadcast that is over the weekend. Now, the CEO Forum will be live streamed between 9:30 and 1 p.m., whereas the Kurenkuru Expo will, of course, be taking place between 10 and 1 p.m. That is on NBC2, and here on NBC1 you can follow. That is the official opening of the SWAKOPMUND International Trade Expo 2024. We've, of course, gauged various stakeholders over the course of the past few days. We've spoken to the Namibia Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We've spoken to the Mid Corporation of Namibia and various other stakeholders present here. But it's also important to know that this is not the only event taking place here in the coastal town. The 5th session of the Joint Permanent Commission of Cooperation between Namibia and Ghana. That concludes today as well with the senior officials meeting, and then where else we'll see the ministerial meeting, of course, kick off as of tomorrow. Those delegates are here as well from Namibia, from Ghana, and they are also forming part of this important occasion, Swaitex. And as we heard there from the Executive Director, Penda Nanda, yesterday, they'll also be visiting some of the port facilities as well as other facilities here in the coastal parts of the country. But as you can see, things are well underway, and we should be kicking off anytime soon with the official opening of the SWAKOPMUND International Trade Expo. Various delegates are here, cabinet ministers are here. Of course, the 2 presidents are also here. That's Dr. Nangola Mbumba and Dr. MOKGWEETSI MASISI to, of course, witness and officiate this very important event, which is really looking to foster relations between Namibia and Botswana, as well as Namibia and possible international partners. Welcome once more to the official opening of the 9th edition of the SWAKOPMUND International Trade Expo. And of course, the NBC will be bringing you these proceedings as they unravel.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we please remain standing of the singing of the Botswana national anthem and the Namibian national anthem. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We may be seated. It is indeed a pleasure here this morning, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome you all here in the beautiful coastal town of SWAKOPMUND at the official opening ceremony of the SWAKOPMUND International Trade Expo, or known as Swaitex. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Neville Besson, and I will be your host this morning. For the sake of protocol, ladies and gentlemen, can we just make sure that our cell phones are switched off or alternatively put on silent, not to disturb the formal proceedings of this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, we will immediately start with our program, and I would like to call on Pastor Samuel France, representing Gospel Mission Church, to come to the front to open our proceedings with a word of prayer.
Naval Master Ceremonies, I was actually hoping that you would set the protocol straight so that I can stand on the protocol. But please allow me this morning to acknowledge the head of states, our own President of the Republic of Namibia, His Excellency Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, President of the Republic of Botswana, His Excellency Dr. MOKGWEETSI MASISI. Let me also acknowledge all the ministers from the different respective countries, members of the diplomatic corps, our Governor, Honorable Neville Andre Tope, her Worship Councillor Dina Namubes, the Mayor of SWAKOPMUND, NCCI President Baisi Uirap, NCCI CEO Madam Charity Muya, thank you for inviting me. All stakeholders and the public, Molalapo, Moro, Painklas, Moabenduka, Moro Kenny, Muzuhile, Dumelang, Makie is in Ghana. Good morning. I observe all the protocol that is here this morning. Director of Ceremonies, I saw it fit today to read and quote from the early scriptures of Genesis. Genesis chapter 1 verse 28. It actually spans into verse 30. The Bible says, then God blessed them. This is after he created man and woman. The Bible says he created them, not just one of them, but he already blessed both of them, male and female. And at this stage, there was no person created yet. God only created human beings in Genesis chapter 2 verse 7 when he formed the man from the dust. So this was a spirit man that was already blessed. If we look around today, we see different exhibitors, innovations, and even nations. That's why we are celebrating diversity. We are all included from an inclusion perspective, and we have been blessed, each one, in the different sectors. His Excellencies, the first words spoken to man by God are the next few sentences. He said to them, be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth and subdue it, rule over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. Be fruitful. We have been tasked to be productive in our business endeavors. Whatever we do, we need to be productive. Are we setting our people up for success in order to win? We have been tasked to multiply, to grow, to expand. You should have a growth strategy in our businesses, in our exhibitions, everything we do. There is no limit for growth. In Africa, we have been called to replenish. It's to fulfill, to draw out the full potential of whatever we are doing. We are called to mine our endeavors. Can you innovate on the collective talent and draw out the highest potential of your business? We have been tasked to subdue, to take charge of our industries and influence our reach. His Excellency, the second time God spoke was in Genesis chapter 2 verse 16 to 7, where he said, where he commissioned the man, put them in the garden and told them, do not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. We know this. God gave a common ground to establish the standard. This is where the standard was set for all in terms of carrying out our mandate as business, as man, as people, as a continent, and also how to relate to build our relationship and maintain it with God. Master Ceremonies, this refers to our values, our principles, governance, our ethical drivers, our virtues, and it is based on God's standard. When the enemy came, the enemy told them, do you also want to be like God, to know good and evil? That's where we missed it, because now it's based on our standards. We are determining the standards now. The good and evil, the standards of God is determined by God and not by what we think we should have as standards. It's based on God. His Excellencies, the consequences are detrimental, as we see in Genesis chapter 3. To remain blessed as a business, as industries, as nation, we need to maintain the standards of God's word and instructions. May we be guided by the very first time God spoke to man and the second time God spoke. I call it the sent off or the tone setting instructions. I thank you. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, this morning as we come in this place, Lord, we are represented by various stakeholders, various countries, Lord. We pray that you will bless this day. Lord, this is the opening ceremony, God, for great networks, great collaborations, Lord. I pray, and we believe the time for Africa has come, Lord, for great revelations and great things, oh God. There's a lot of things, innovation that's happening. Bless us, oh Lord. We pray for divine connections. Holy Spirit, don't be miss in the sessions. Be with us, guide us, lead us, give us wisdom in the mighty name of Jesus. We appreciate you this morning. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. I thank you.
For that strong spiritual inspiration for all of us here this morning with the opening of the SWAKOP International Trade Expo. Pastor Samuel Franz, representing Gospel Mission Church, once again, thank you very much for that motivational speech that you just shared with us this morning. And I believe that all stakeholders, business people, companies here present will take a leaf out of your very inspirational message and take that forward. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, for the official welcoming remarks, the governor of the Irongo region, my own Bushe, is here this morning. I always say to you, my brother, it's always funny to actually mention my own name, and that is what we've been sharing all our lives. But it's my distinct honor and pleasure now to welcome our governor, Neville Andre Itope. Let's welcome him on stage.
Thank you very much, Bushe. Let me also not mention my own name and just say Bushe. Director of Ceremonies, His Excellency Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, the President of the Republic of Namibia, and First Lady Madame Seski Mbumba, His Excellency Dr. MOKGWEETSI Masisi, President of the Republic of Botswana, and the guest of honor, and the First Lady Madame Neo Jane Masisi, His Excellency Slamba Tsohwane, Vice President of the Republic of Botswana, Honorable John Mutorwa, Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Works and Transport, Honorable Ministers, Deputy Ministers from Namibia, Botswana, and Ghana, Diplomatic Corps, Ambassadors representing Namibia, Botswana, and Ghana present here, regional and local authority councillors. He worships the mayor of different towns, including the town of SWAKOPMUND, Councillor Dina Namubes, Mr. Bisi Uirab, President of NCCI, and the entire leadership of NCCI, esteemed uniform officers, esteemed senior government officials, esteemed exhibitors, captains of industry, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is with great pleasure and honor that I extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to each one of you to the 9th SWAKOPMUND International Trade Expo, in short, Swaitex. This year's theme, efficient connectivity and resource beneficiation for sustainable growth in Africa, resonates deeply with our collective aspiration for economic integration and development across our continent. We are particularly honored to have with us today the President of the Republic of Namibia, His Excellency Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, and Madame, the President of the Republic of Botswana, His Excellency Dr. MOKGWEETSI Masisi, and Madame, and the delegation from Botswana, and Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration of the Republic of Ghana, Honorable Shirley Boshwe, and your delegation. Your presence here underscores the importance of regional and continental collaboration and the pursuit of shared prosperity. Erango region, with its strategic location and robust infrastructure, plays a pivotal role in fostering trade and connectivity within the Southern African region. The port of Walvis Bay is a critical gateway for trade, not only for Namibia, but also for our neighboring countries and African continent as a large. Our trade volumes with Botswana, facilitated through the Trans-Kalahari Corridor, have seen significant growth over the years, from 50,128 metric tons in 2019 to 2022 to over 349,569 metric tons during 2022-2023, while so far in 2024, a total number of 313,339 metric tons. I'm convinced that by the end of this year, we will do better than last year. This corridor serves as a vital link, enhancing the efficiency of cargo investment or cargo movement between our countries, thus reducing transit times and costs. The Trans-Kalahari Corridor has indeed enabled substantial increases in trade volumes, particularly in transport of goods such as mining equipment, agricultural products, and consumer goods. In addition to trade, the Erango region has also become a preferred destination to tourism from tourists from Botswana. The region offers a diverse range of attractions, from the majestic sand dunes of the Namib Desert to the rich marine life along our coastal line. The influx of our tourists from Botswana not only strengthens our cultural ties, but also contributes significantly to our local economy, creating jobs and promoting sustainable development. I would also like to implore our Namibians to start traveling in numbers to Botswana for leisure and holiday, as Botswana equally have very good, rich historical and cultural and natural tourist appeal. Looking ahead, the Erango region is committed to further enhancing our trade relations with Botswana and other regional and continental partners. We are continuously investing in infrastructural investment of the port of Walvis Bay to increase its capacity and efficiency. Moreover, we are exploring new opportunities in sectors such as renewable energy, fisheries, and manufacturing, which hold immense potential for mutual growth. We therefore applaud the work of the Namibian government for creating a conducive business environment here in Erango region. The presence of our high-level African dignitaries today is a testament of our government to take Pan-Africanism and inter-African trade very serious. We believe that by working together, we can harness our collective resources and expertise to drive sustainable growth and development. The theme of this year's EXPO, efficient connectivity and resource beneficiation for growth or for sustainable growth in Africa, is not just a slogan, but a call to action for all of us to collaborate and innovate. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, Your Excellencies, I wish to express my gratitude to our esteemed guests for gracing these occasions with your presence. Your participation is a testimony to a strong bond of friendship and cooperation that exists between our nations. Let us continue to work together towards a future of shared prosperity and sustainable growth. Welcome to Erango region. popularly known as the Region of Excellence. And may this expo be a platform for fruitful discussions, partnership, and innovation. I thank you.
Honorable Neville Andre Utope, Governor of the Irongo region, once again, thank you very much for your welcoming remarks, once again showcasing the strength of the Irongo region as a conduit to the rest of the world. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, up next on stage, can we welcome on stage Logos Hope for some remarks.
Your Excellency, Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, Excellency MOKGWEETSI MASISI, Honorable Vice Presidents, Ministers, members of the Diplomatic Corps, and other dignitaries and guests, I greet you. About 10 years ago, I walked out of an airport in a place called Novosibirsk, Siberia. It was December, and as I walked out of there, I was faced with minus 40 degrees Celsius. Just watching the scenery around me, meeting the people, eating the food, even getting to go to a live performance, it felt like it was deja vu, that I had been there before. And indeed I had. Only the first time I was there was as a 12-year-old, sitting on the stoop of my grandmother's house in the township in Windhoek, reading a book about this world. Since then, I've been to many places, and many times it felt like I'd been there before, because literature exposed me to a world I could never have imagined I would eventually get to visit. I'm part of a delegation of the Logos Hope and the leadership team. The Logos Hope is currently in Walvis Bay. We will open to the public on Friday. The vision of the ship is to share knowledge, help, and hope. On board our ship, we have an international book fair with over 5,000 different titles of books. Over the years that we've been operating the ship, we have about 1 million people a year visiting the ship. In fact, since we arrived on the east coast of Africa last year, Kenya, Tanzania, Madagascar, Mozambique, South Africa, we've had more than 1 million people visiting the ship. And we look forward to inviting many more. Literature has the ability to develop our language skills, our vocabulary, our imagination and creativity, empathy and understanding, our critical thinking ability, broaden our horizons, and enable us to dream. And so we look forward to inviting many on board the ship to get a piece of this. I know that reading and literacy is a key goal for our government. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Reynold Titus, and I am from Namibia. So this is why it's so important for me. The vision of the ship is to share knowledge, help, and hope. So through the book fair, expanding knowledge, getting many teams, schools to come and visit the ship, but also we will be sending many teams into the community to come and work alongside local entities to seek to uplift our country during our 3-week stay in Namibia. I would just want to invite our captain to say a few words.
Good morning, everyone. Mr. President, Madam, dignitaries and ministers, and ladies and gentlemen, people in Namibia, it's for me an honor, a real honor to be standing here and being able to first welcome you, send the greetings from 350 people that are part of my crew and from 65 different nationalities. So it's an honor for me being fitting these shoes. It's also for us a privilege to be parked right now in the port of Walvis Bay. So I want to invite you. We will be open to the public from the 5th of July until the 21st of July. And I would like to invite everyone in Namibia, in Botswana, that you could take the time and visit us. We are more than just a simple ship, as Mr. Titus explained it. And we will be honored to have you on board, and then the invitation is there. Mr. Titus, you will explain a bit more about the programs and what we will do.
Just finally, as part of our events, we will also be hosting many events on board the ship for children, for young people, for local organizations, NPOs, where we try to collaborate and address some of the issues that we're facing around gender-based violence, drugs, etc. We will have events for leaders. We will actually, all of us on board are volunteers. So the governor has asked us to host an event on board for the local leaders, business and government leaders, to come and volunteer for a day. And on the back of your brochure, you will also see that we will actually have the privilege of hosting the NCCI event on board the ship next Monday. So finally, we are just so grateful that we can be part of this. And I particularly want to thank Governor Neville for his support in the advanced preparation of the ship's visit to Walvis Bay. And we are encouraged to be here and looking forward to inviting you and hosting you on board our ship. Thank you.
In the meantime, Mr. President told me to say that from which country I'm from. Can you guess? My accent is saying it. I'm from Chile, South America. I'm a far neighbor.
With the literacy rate being a strong cornerstone for educational development in Namibia, we would like to thank Logos Hope for contributing towards that Namibian dream. Let's give them another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. With corporate social investment being the cornerstone of many stakeholders in our country, we appreciate all the efforts of our corporates out there. Ladies and gentlemen, a word from our main sponsor. I would like to call on Mr. Jörg Moret, who's the founder of Kaeso Energy Services, to come to the front for a word from our main sponsor. Let's welcome him on stage. Sir, you first need to explain the elegance of that outfit to us before you start.
Your Excellency, Dr. Ngolo Mbumba, President of the Republic of Namibia, Your Excellency, Dr. MOKGWEETSI MASISI, President of the Republic of Botswana, Honorable Vice Presidents, Honorable Cabinet Ministers and members of the Parliament, Diplomatic Court, Regional Governors, Mayors, Board of Directors of the NCCI, business executives, entrepreneurs from around the country and beyond, members of the media, good morning. I'm honored to stand before you today as the General Manager of Kaeso Energy Services, a small local oilfield service company that has proudly been in business for over a decade. With 22 years of experience in this sector, I'm not only Angolan, but more importantly, African. I was moved as I watched the official opening of Swaitex 2022. I listened intently as the late President, Mr. Ag Gottfried Gengob, spoke about the different waves of African leadership. He was a great leader who inspired me, who inspired us, and I take this opportunity to pay my respects to him. President Gengob spoke passionately about our struggles for political freedom and emphasized the immense responsibility we bear to achieve economic freedom. There is no true freedom without economic freedom. Platforms like Swaitex are essential to reaching this objective. By fostering trade, sharing resources, and exchanging knowledge, particularly within the southern region of Africa. I would like to take a moment to address the topic of oil and gas. Congratulations on your recent discoveries. These are momentous achievements. However, it is crucial to approach these discoveries with caution. They have the potential to catalyze unprecedented growth and wealth generation in the history of your country, benefiting SMEs, large corporations, and your people through what I call inclusive local content. For example, your economy is primarily concentrated in the northern region, Windhoek, and Walvis Bay. We have presence in Walvis Bay. And we also made a deliberate decision to open in Dordrecht, establishing for now the only oil and gas base ready to support the sector. We have supported Schlumberger, Halliburton, Total in their last campaign, and others. We achieved this by sourcing most of our equipment within Namibia, with additional resources from South Africa, Angola, and overseas. This created local jobs and contributed significantly to the local economy. Also, as a business, we have a social responsibility. Last week, we sponsored and participated in a conference organized by the Namibian Youth Energy Forum. Our youth makes the majority of our continent. Your youth employment is our biggest challenge. They are fleeing the continent. We must increase our trades to support, inspire, and involve them in our economy. This is the essence of inclusive local content and the spirit of Swaitex. However, these discoveries also have the potential to create significant wealth gaps and mismanagement if approached through what I call extractive local content, where resources are extracted primarily for the benefit of a few. We will delve deeper into these topics at the business seminar in July the 8th, as already mentioned by the precedent speaker, organized under the theme Championing Namibian Local Content for Diversity and Sustainable Economic Growth. I encourage all of you to attend, as we will engaging in insightful discussions. In discussing inclusive and extractive local content, I must commend Botswana as an African nation that has successfully managed its resources for the benefit of its people. They use their natural resources as a catalyst to develop other industries. They are also expanding their upstream involvement to downstream, adding more value in country. Understanding that diamonds are finite, Botswana is already investing in preparing its economy for the next wave of growth, focusing on the knowledge economy. It's a successful and inspiring example of inclusive local content. We are here today to identify opportunities, exchange best practices, and foster trade within our region and beyond. This is why CAESO proudly sponsored Swaitex and continues to collaborate with NCCI. Our first collaboration was sponsoring and organizing with Antilla Consultancy the first oil and gas Namibian local content conference in the South held in Ludwitz. NCCI is a key institution to promote trade and business. Ladies and gentlemen, Africa is at the center of the world. We are the youngest and richest continent in natural resources. Let us break barriers, develop our industries and services, add value in country, and trade to claim our rightful place in the global stage. Thank you.
Mr. Jacques Moret, the founder of KSO Energy Services, once again, thank you very much for your contribution. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor and pleasure now to welcome on stage a gentleman that's been a landmark in our country when it comes to business development, but who remains a very humble man in my opinion, but who has done so much for our economic development in our country and who's rightfully the president of the NCCI. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the president, Mr. Bisi Uirap, who's also the host of the Swaitex Trade Fair. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Bisi Uirap. And I will take the opportunity now to sit in your chair now.
Thank you, my brother Pason. Unfortunately, I cannot say my boucher because I'm not one of them. Your Excellency, Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, the President of the Republic of Namibia, and Madame Mbumba, our First Lady. Your Excellency, Dr. MOKGWEETSI Eric Masisi, the President of the Republic of Botswana, and Madame Masisi, the First Lady of the Republic of Botswana. Your Excellency, Slampa Tsokwane, the Vice President of the Republic of Namibia, of Botswana, Honorable John Mutorwa, our Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister responsible for the Ministry of Works and Transport, Honorable Shirley Bochwe, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration for the Republic of Ghana. If I'm allowed, I shall then stand on the protocol for the rest of us. It is indeed with great sense of privilege and honor that I stand here before you today on this official opening ceremony of the SWAKOPMUND International Trade Expo Swaitex, which is hosted under the theme Efficient Connectivity and Resource Beneficiation for Sustainable Growth in Africa. And this theme augurs well, particularly in the presence of our two heads of state who are present with us this morning. We in the Namibia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and indeed as a business community, do not take lightly and for granted the presence of our esteemed leaders at this gathering. For us, it signifies the commitment that they have in bringing these two nations together. And we have seen this trend of our leaders taking very conscious efforts to bring the two peoples of Botswana and Namibia over the past years. It is really up to us as the populace, as a business community, and the brotherly nations of these two countries to take that cue from our leaders to work towards bringing these two nations together. These two nations have very similar characteristics. They both have deserts. They share the Kalahari Desert, very well known for diamonds, very well known for quality cattle and beef products, very friendly people, people who are friends of all. Therefore, I think their presence signifies more than them just sitting here with a very strong group of ministers, delegation, business people. So I think they really deserve a warm round of applause from us. The theme of this conference aligns well with our country's policy direction, which is to unlock the transport infrastructure potential of the country and ensure its optimal efficiency in connecting ports of supply to markets and end users. Furthermore, this theme also anchors on a very critical element of resource beneficiation, which my brother from Kayosi has aptly just explained to us. Through value addition to our products, we will create national sustainable prosperity and employment for the people of our country. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the theme talks about connectivity and efficient connectivity. Obviously, connectivity could be in physical form when people connect, and it could be through other means. We connect through our souls and through our business engagements. But today also, I am very proud to say here that after a long time of absence of direct air connectivity between our two countries, I'm told that earlier today, our local privately owned airline has made a maiden call to Maun, which will be a weekly call, I think 3 times a week, if I'm not mistaken. So this is indeed something that we should be happy about. I must further say that I'm privileged to some discussions that are ongoing to connect Windhoek and Gaborone in the not so far distant future. And that is connectivity, and that is what our leaders want us to be, to come together as the two nations of these two countries. Your Excellencies, Swaitex was first launched in the year 2012 and has become an annual event which provides a unique platform to showcase product and service offerings for local and international enterprises. At the same time, it provides a platform for insightful engagements with policymakers and other industry players. The wide-ranging interest and attendance that goes beyond this region of Erongo and beyond our country offers an opportunity for participating entities to tap and serve this diverse SADC market and increases brand awareness beyond our geographical boundaries. This year, about 150 exhibitors ranging from big corporates, SMEs, vendors, as well as offices, ministries and agencies will be exhibiting their products and services in the hall just on the other side from where we are. Our assessment indicates that this event provides enormous opportunities for trading, networking, insightful policy and best practice information, and brand marketing, amongst many other benefits. As the voice of Business Namibia, the NCCI takes pride in the events of this nature, which create a platform and opportunities that enhance trade and information exchange amongst our members and the general business community, both local ones and those operating from international space. We are indeed pleased to have so many international companies showing interest in this expo, particularly from businesses from outside the borders of Namibia and from our neighboring countries like Botswana and, of course, further up from Ghana. Just to put a few things into context, Botswana is one of Namibia's most important trading partners. Statistics tell us that in 2023, trade value between the two countries amounted to about 20 billion Namibia dollars, with a trade balance favoring Namibia. Our key export products to Botswana include diamond mineral products, petroleum products, livestock, dairy, poultry, and other agricultural products, as well as fish products. Conversely, we from Namibia import coal, veterinary medicines, building materials, as well as base metal products from the Republic of Botswana. We are also aware that there are many Botswana businesses that operate in our country, and some of them include the Choppies, Letshego Bank, and I see the MD of Letshego is sitting here with us, Fenmart, and many others. They do business in our country. On the other side, we have the Capricorn Group that owns Bank Windhoek, which also has a very strong presence in the Republic of Botswana through Bank Gaborone. However, it is my considered view, Your Excellencies, that there remains great scope for business interactions between the business peoples of Namibia and Botswana. There must be conscious efforts made by the business people to tackle joint projects in these two countries of ours. We know that we can do better in this area, and we also know that we can do more in this regard. As a neighboring country, trade with Botswana is seen to provide enormous benefits, amongst them reduced transport and logistical costs, minimum transaction costs due to interconnections of our financial systems, as well as relative ease of entering the markets as opposed to going to faraway markets. We acknowledge also the presence of the Ghana delegation under the leadership of the Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs present here today. Ghana is a big country in terms of its economy compared to the economies of our two countries, and we stand to benefit by collaborating with our brothers in the western part of our continent. The Namibia Chamber of Commerce and Industry regards its advocacy role as that of engaging with our government to ensure that the environment is conducive for the private sector to thrive and to make a meaningful contribution to the economic development of our country. In that regard, Your Excellencies, I am very happy to inform you that the Namibia Chamber of Commerce and Industries has excellent relations with all branches of the government and various ministries and ministers of the government. We engage on a continuous basis with various ministers in a mutually respectful way to find amicable and workable solutions whenever we are challenged to resolve issues that affect the business community. As a premier voice of Business Namibia, we remain committed to ensuring that the shared interest of this country is considered and an environment in which business activities thrive is nurtured and sustained all the way. In executing this mandate, we will continue to utilize our advocacy functions and other blended programs which seek to build capacity as well as bridge the gap of information amongst our members. In addition, we will continue to engage and strengthen our research capacity to be in a good position to identify challenges that affect the industry and devise measures to address these challenges. As I conclude, let me acknowledge the strategic role that has been played by our partners who are present here, including our sponsors, as well as many enterprises and individuals who have shown interest in this event. Your contributions have gone a long way in ensuring the realization of this great event. I am indeed thankful to the esteemed attendees who responded positively to this invitation to be here with us this morning, again proving to us how important this event is in our calendar. We're also grateful for the media that is sharing the proceedings of this event with the rest of the nation and indeed with the rest of the world. As I've indicated, we value the presence of our leaders here, and we ask the great Lord to bless them. We ask the great Lord to bless our nations. I thank you.
Mr. Bisi Uirap, the President of the NCCI and the host of Swaitex for 2024. Once again, Mr. Uirap, thank you very much. And we as Namibians, and we know and large the business community out there, appreciate the services and the opportunities that the NCCI has afforded entrepreneurs and business people out there in contributing to the economy of our beloved country. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to call on the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration of the Republic of Ghana, Honorable Shirley BOTSWANA, to come to the front for a statement. Let's welcome her on stage.
Your Excellency, Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, President of the Republic of Namibia, Madam First Lady of the Republic of Namibia, Your Excellency, Dr. MOKGWEETSI MASISI, President of the Republic of Botswana, Madam First Lady of the Republic of Botswana, His Excellency Suba Togwani, Vice President of Botswana, the Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Ministers, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Honorable Neville Andre Tope, Governor of Irongo Region, Her Worship Councillor Dinah Namumbis, Mayor of SWAKOPMUND, Mr. Bisi Uirap, President of the Namibia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, members of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let me begin by expressing my profound gratitude to the government of Namibia for the invitation to speak at the 9th Annual SWAKOPMUND International Trade Expo Swaitex. This year's Swaitex theme, Efficient Connectivity and Resource Beneficiation for Sustainable Growth in Africa, is apt, as it resonates with a vision for deepening African integration as outlined in the African Union's Agenda 2063, the Africa we want. I commend the organizers of this trade expo, as well as the enterprises, entrepreneurs, and public sector agencies whose efforts are driving Africa's continental aspiration of industrialization, integration, and prosperity. Allow me to invoke the words of the late Kofi Annan, former Secretary General of the United Nations, who once said that, and I quote, "African development is not a dream of the future. It is a necessity of the present," unquote. We must take advantage of this expo to turn our necessity to our advantage. This means making African products our preferred products and building partnerships regionally and across the continent to service our common market under the African Continental Free Trade Area, AfTA. That would not just create efficient pathways to economic growth, they constitute essential components of sustainable development, enhancing the required levels and quality of cooperation and inclusivity. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, while it is true that our economies face some of the most challenging headwinds in recent history, including cascading impacts on debt, energy, food security, high cost of living and unemployment, as well as our planet, the transformative potential of the AFCFTA shows that we can overcome our challenges and build resilient economies. Ghana is pleased that despite pending negotiations on tariff concessions and rules of origin, creative initiatives are being rolled out to expedite trading under the AFCFTA, including payment settlements. As the biggest free trade area connecting at least 1.3 billion people across 55 countries, with a combined gross domestic product, GDP, which is valued at 3.4 trillion United States dollars, the AFCFTA promises immense benefits, including new market access, the acceleration of industrialization, and renewed investment opportunities for all its member states. We agree wholeheartedly with AFCFTA Secretary General Wankwele Meni when he says that, I quote, "The African Continental Free Trade Area is the beacon of hope for Africa's economic resurgence," unquote. It is our responsibilities as leaders in government, industry, finance, SMEs, startups, regulation, and civil society to harness our collective resources and capabilities towards an efficient market in trade and services, job creation, and prosperity for all Africans. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Ghana has been at the forefront of implementing the AFCFTA agreement. Aside from hosting the AFCFTA Secretariat, we also are trading with several African countries, including South Africa, Kenya, Tanzania, and Cameroon, within the framework of the Guided Trade Initiative of AFCFTA. And I must say that you can find Namibian meat on Ghanaian markets now. The AFCFTA Guided Trade Initiative, with aims to boost mutually beneficial commercial trading, has shed light on how to create an enabling environment for the private sector to thrive and foster economic relations among African countries. I commend Namibia for recently joining the initiative. This affirms your commitment and political will for meaningful trade within the African continent. It is therefore my fervent hope that the MOU on mutual cooperation between the Ghana Investment Promotion Center and the Namibia Investment Promotion and Development Board, which was signed in April 2023, will pave the way for even further investment and economic flows between our two countries under the aegis of the AFCFTA. Ghana actively encourages the organization of economic activities, including business forums, trade fairs, expositions, and exhibitions, particularly alongside political engagements, as part of our strategic goal of a Ghana beyond aid and an African beyond aid. This year alone, so far, we have had similar economic engagements with South Africa and Kenya, and they have yielded good results. We are therefore grateful for this platform, and we look forward to having a Ghana-Namibia Business Forum in the very near future. We are particularly pleased that these economic engagements provide the platform to discuss prospects and challenges faced by our companies and businesses to fashion out unique solutions to them. Your Excellencies, I'm happy to note that as part of the objectives outlined in Namibia's National Strategy and Implementation Plan of the AFCFTA, one of the topics that stand out the most is the private sector, especially SMEs, and the benefits they can derive from the AFCFTA. The participation of His Excellencies Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, President of the Republic of Namibia, and Dr. MOKGWEETSI Masisi, President of the Republic of Botswana in this expo, demonstrates the leadership needed for our shared journey towards economic development, particularly under the framework of the AFCFTA. It is our hope that this expo will send a clear message to the rest of the continent that we have no time to coast along on our declared commitments to realizing a prosperous and interconnected Africa, where the benefits of our vast resources are harnessed efficiently and sustainably towards the aspirations of our people, but that we are building block by block the collaborative partnerships for business, economic growth, and prosperity. Swaitex is an affirmation of this call to action. In this context, I'd like to commend the government of Namibia, who, with technical support from the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, UNECA, and the SADC Business Council, have developed a comprehensive report on the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and the Russian-Ukraine conflict on the MSMEs in Namibia, which would be launched during the Expo. This report, which will shed light on the profound impacts of these recent crises on micro, small, and medium enterprises in Namibia, underscores the resilience of our entrepreneurial spirit while calling for targeted interventions to support our MSMEs in overcoming these challenges and seizing new opportunities within the AFCFTA framework. Your Excellencies, as an advocate for enhancing the market size of small states and increasing their benefits in global value chains, in my capacity as Ghana's candidate for the position of the next Secretary General of the Commonwealth, I've called for ways to link up AFCFTA and other free trade agreements within the Commonwealth to which Ghana, Botswana, and Namibia belong. Our overlapping memberships in multilateral systems must be consciously and strategically exploited to change our marginalized status in global trade and governance. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, it is my expectation that today's exposition would create exciting possibilities that would further strengthen economic ties and relations between our countries and serve as a stepping stone to increase trading activities. Let us leverage this platform to foster collaboration, innovation, and partnerships to harness the full potential of the AFCFTA in accelerating the realization of Africa's Agenda 2063 for the prosperity of all. I thank you for your kind attention.
Honorable Shirley Botswe, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration of the Republic of Ghana, once again, thank you. Thank you very much for your statement. And as Namibians, we definitely acknowledge the political and economic bonds that we've shared for so many years with the Republic of Ghana. And it's a warm welcome from our side as Namibians to have you here in our midst here today. Once again, thank you very much. But I must say, Honorable Botswe, for many years as Namibians or as people, if you don't travel, you don't expose yourself to different cultures and norms, etc. Now, there's a Namibian family dynasty in our country with a strong history of the Mensah family surname in Namibia. And she's our current ambassador in the USA, and that is Margaret Mensah. So for many years, Namibians, as I sit here, I thought Maggie is just a colored woman from the south. Nama, colored woman from the south. So over the years, as I was speaking to her and she relayed her Ghanaian ancestry to me, and knowing that the surname Mensah is a Ghanaian surname. So it is very heartwarming as Namibians to have an understanding of that. So I saw recently, and then we have to commend Ghana also, it is really the first African country to welcome back African Americans officially back to their motherland, to say, come back home. There's a better place for you here. I saw that multi-award Grammy winner Stevie Wonder is officially a Ghanaian citizen now. So I shall put in my application. Thank you very much. For the introduction of our keynote speaker today, President Bumba, before I welcome you on stage, I have to get something off my chest. Now, Your Excellency, I'm being harassed here as I'm sitting here on stage by people sending me WhatsApp messages from here asking me, why are you not getting into the president? Why are you so quiet? I said, no, okay, we have guests here today. Now, President Masisi, you don't know me personally. I have been a stand-up comedian in our country for almost 30 years. So from the first president of our country, our first president was in power for 15 years. So for 15 years, I made fun of the president. Up to a point where our founding father was so comfortable with whatever I say about him, he would call me and say, Bason, come here. I'll say, yeah, Daddy, tell that other joke of me you told the other night. That was the relationship I had with the founding father. And then our second president came, President Pohamba, 10 years, up to a point where he also, you are very naughty, you Bason. You are naughty. And may his soul rest in peace. Akhaba, Hariba, our president, from his time as Prime Minister up until recently, I was having the time of my life on stage with him. And 2 years ago, in this hall, the president of Zambia, President Hakainde Hichilema, the two of them were sitting here. So I was biting my tongue the whole time because the Zambian president was here. And then I could not anymore, and I started telling jokes about our president. Now, our president was sitting here, and you could see him telling the president, that one is just stupid, let him talk. So President Geingob came on stage here and telling the president of Zambia, that one, he's been doing this nonsense for many years, so don't take him seriously. So, Mr. President, for the sake that we only meet each other now for the first time, I will spare the president. President Bumba, we will be together for a few more months. I've checked my schedule, and I've seen a few events where we will be together. So I will leave you today. Maramatu cheka kumurungo uri. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our president, His Excellency, Dr. Nangolo Mbumba.
Please, let us sit down. Mr. Neville Basson, I'm grateful for your understanding of my position. Our guest of honor, Your Excellency Dr. MOKGWEETSI Eric Kabebetsa MASISI, President of the Republic of Botswana. Her Excellency Madame Neo Jane MASISI, First Lady of the Republic of Botswana. Madame Seski Nashidi Mbumba, First Lady of the Republic of Namibia. My friend, His Honor, Mr. Slamba Tsogwane, Vice President of the Republic of Botswana. My other friend, John Mutorwa, Deputy Prime Minister of the Republic of Namibia. Honorable Ministers, Honorable Shirley Bochwe, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration of the Republic of Ghana, the first Black Republic on the African continent. Thank you very much for coming all the way from Accra. Members of the Diplomatic Corps, our security cluster leaders, the person who stole Mr. Basson's name, Neville Andre Itope, Governor of Erongo region, Your Worship Councillor Dina Namu Bess, Mayor of SWAKOPMUND, Bessie Wirab, who is a spoiled Namibian, does not fear to invite presidents to come to his functions. Please don't get used to it. Executive directors, permanent secretaries, and senior government officials from Botswana and Namibia, all invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Now, BC was telling us it will be such a short program. I look at President Masisi, I said, this person does not know how meetings move. Meeting has their own spirit. Now, my speech is short because I'm only to introduce the keynote speaker. But short, almost like me. Neither too short, nor too long. So let me have your patience. It gives me utmost pleasure to join you at this auspicious occasion as we mark the official opening of the 2024 Swakopmund International Trade Expo, better known as Swaitex. Today is indeed a momentous day for the Namibian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and Swaitex in particular, as a milestone in the ever-growing bilateral relations between Botswana and Namibia. It is a rare occasion that one finds a president and a vice president deciding to undertake a joint official mission to pay a visit to another country. However, that is the case today, where we have the honor to welcome both the President of Botswana, the First Lady of Botswana, the Vice President of Botswana, the former, that is the President, who I shall shortly have the pleasure of introducing as our guest of honor. It is said that, and I quote, a good neighbor is a fount of treasure. A good neighbor is a fount
of treasure, end of quote. Truly, the relationship between Namibia and Botswana, characterized by kinship, good neighborliness, and mutual respect, must be treasured by all of us. In a world which is currently witnessing rising geopolitical tensions, it is indeed a breath of fresh air to enjoy the peace, unity, and respect we share between Botswana and Namibia and all her people. At this juncture, let me commend the NCCI for not only sterling job of organizing Swaitex 2024, but for having had the foresight and faith to propose the invitation of His Excellency President MOKGWEETSI MASISI as guest of honor. To our delight, as the good neighbor that he is, he gladly accepted. Historically, wherever Namibians have found themselves in tight corners, in times of troubles, they have looked to the east. Because, as they say in some African culture, when you have some problems and especially when your mind is not working right, if you walk out to your house and you start walking just towards the east, yeah, the chance of you getting well is good. If you happen to walk out to your house, your mind is confused, and you are going towards where the sun is going, your chance of getting well is very minimal. So that's why we Namibians always move to the east. Historically, during the German period, people moved to the west, to the east. During the struggle for independence, we all went to Botswana. So we are grateful to the leaders and people of Botswana who always have accommodated us, helped us, and helped us to achieve our independence. We deeply appreciate Botswana's historic support and assistance to our people. Now we have reached a modern level of cooperation, which was started and strengthened by our President, the late Dr. Hage G. Geingob, and President Dr. MOKGWEETSI MASISI, not only at the political level, but also on a personal and individual level. Many of us will recall the brotherly friendship which our esteemed guest of honor shared with our late President, Dr. Geingob. It was a deep and genuine friendship between two like-minded leaders, which provided a platform for the enhancement of Namibia-Botswana relations and delivered the much-lauded launch on February 24, 2023, of the use of national identity cards as travel documents between Namibia and Botswana. Today, many Botswana and Namibians let me read my statement properly. Today, many Botswana come to Namibia for holidays, especially during the Christmas and New Year's festive seasons. They also come for business. And I also would like to believe that our citizens are reciprocating with their visit to Botswana, as the governor of Erongo has already said. The credit for this flourishing people-to-people exchange must rightly and rightfully go to President Dr. MOKGWEETSI Eric Masisi and our late President Dr. Hage Geingob for their admirable leadership. So, ladies and gentlemen, President Dr. MOKGWEETSI Masisi is no stranger to Namibia, the SADC region, or the world at large. Sworn in office on the 1st of April 2018 as the 5th President of the Republic of Botswana, he immediately set about continuing the legacy of sound democratic leadership entrenched by his predecessors, establishing himself as an astute leader with a keen sense of regional, continental, and global politics. We men don't mind when our ages are mentioned. Born on the 21st of July, it's good, this is July month. So we will follow you to Botswana for the birthday party. Now we know the birthday. 1962, in Moshupa, President Masisi is a career educationist. He attended Thornhill Primary School and Mary A. Puller School. He holds various academic qualifications from the University of Botswana, from Florida State University in the USA, and from Manchester University in the United Kingdom, respectively. During his earlier career, he taught at both primary, secondary, and tertiary levels. And tertiary levels, when you teach at the tertiary level, they call you professor. He's Professor Masisi. In 1995, he began working for UNICEF in Botswana as an education project officer. In 2008, he won the Botswana Democratic Party primary elections and became the party's parliamentary candidate for his own birthplace, Moshupa. He has held several portfolios in government of Botswana, such as Assistant Minister for Presidential Affairs and Public Administration at State House. He has been Minister for Presidential Affairs and Public Administration. He has been Acting Minister at the Ministry of Education and Skills Development. In November 2014, he was endorsed as the 8th Vice President of Botswana, and in 2015, he became the chairperson of Botswana Democratic Party. Ladies and gentlemen, now you have been waiting for Neville Basson to scold me. Let us now get ready. When you introduce somebody, that means you are warming up the stage so that people can wake up, so that you can stop looking at your phones. Please, as you have heard, our guest of honor today is a trailblazer with a illustrious background as an academic of note, and of note intellectual, and a pragmatic statesman. Since we are all keen to hear from this distinguished leader, without further ado, it is my distinct privilege to invite you first. And then to allow me to invite our guest of honor the President of the Republic of Botswana, His Excellency Dr. MOKGWEETSI MASISI, to the podium in order to deliver his keynote speech.
Thank you very much. Kindly take your seats. I'm recovering from a cold, so I hope my voice will last me. I was just saying that because somebody declared to spend their time making fun of presidents. Your Excellency, Dr. Mbumba, the President of the Republic of Namibia, and your dear wife, Madam Mbumba, my own dear wife, and the First Lady of Botswana, MASISI, the Vice President of Botswana, Mr. Slamba Tsohwane, honorable ministers from Namibia and Botswana and Ghana, members of the diplomatic corps, Honorable Neville Andri Itope, Governor of Irongo Region, Her Worship, the Mayor of SWAKOPMUND, Mr. Urrab, President of NCCI, members of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. President Mbumba has been very kind to me. He did not tell you that in 2003, I stood for the primary elections of my party and I lost. That was skipped. Thank you, Mr. President. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be in your esteemed presence this morning, marking this auspicious occasion of the official opening of the SWAKOPMUND International Trade Expo, Swaitex. I'm immensely grateful to you, Your Excellency, for extending the invitation to me to visit Namibia once again. Although our meeting today occurs under different circumstances than our last encounter in February this year, which was shadowed by the untimely passing of our esteemed elder brother and former president of the Republic of Namibia, His Excellency Dr. Hage T. Geingob. It nonetheless remains a worthwhile visit. May his soul rest in peace. I'd like to start by commending the Republic of Namibia for its remarkable social and economic accomplishments since attaining independence in 1990. These achievements encompass impressive economic growth rates, infrastructure advancements, and the seamless constitutional and democratic transfer of power when it is time to do so. But more than that, a deep respect and admiration to you, President Mbumba, for the masterful way in which you managed the difficult times that Namibia faced, and your continued faith and fidelity in your pledge to retire. It would have been easy for many to seize the moment and cling on to the job. It is admirable to observe Namibia emerging as a key hub for oil, exploration, and green hydrogen development that is poised to elevate the country to unprecedented heights of economic prosperity. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to also take this opportunity to appreciate the organizers of the SWAKOPMUND International Trade Expo for reaching the notable milestone of hosting this significant event for over 7 consecutive years, starting from 2012, with the most recent edition being held in 2019 before a 2-year pause due to the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm reliably informed that Swaitex is a prestigious annual event led by the private sector, efficiently organized by the Namibia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, NCCI. The crucial role played by private sector organizations in spearheading socioeconomic policies, creating wealth for their countries, cannot be overstated. Events like these expos serve as essential trade promotion tools, shedding light on trade and investment prospects. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in our collective effort to enhance intra-Africa trade under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, it is imperative to allocate more resources to events like the Swaitex that convene businesses and visionaries. Together we aim to dispel misconceptions such as the fallacy that African nations engage in insufficient trade among themselves, with only 15% level of intra-Africa trade. There is ample room for improvement. Hence, as leaders, we have pledged at the continental level to facilitate the seamless movement of people, goods, and capital to intensify trade within the African continent. My very strong and powerful delegation, Mr. President, I can publicly declare I brought close to half my cabinet here. Myself, my Vice President, 8 ministers, critical ministries to the economy, with the head of the public service and the Attorney General, and a number of permanent secretaries and chief executive officers. We are coming here to flood you. Flood you with love and affection. But we want to do business. We want to do business, Mr. President. And this is truly to enhance this intra-Africa trade and cooperation. I firmly believe that the wealth of information to be exchanged during this expo will help bridge information disparities and thereby motivate and empower participating companies to achieve unprecedented levels of business expansion. I express my hope that as Namibian enterprises endeavor to broaden their horizons, they will opt to engage in more collaborations with their Botswana counterparts. Ladies and gentlemen, the bond between Botswana and Namibia can aptly be termed as a special relationship due to the profound values, traditions, and historical ties that we both cherish and uphold. Our intimate partnership and solidarity stem from a shared commitment to freedom, to dignity, and inclusive progress for our respective populations. It is only fitting that this robust neighborly collaboration be supported by bilateral agreements spanning multiple sectors such as agriculture, water, defense and security, as well as transportation and logistics. Likewise, I firmly believe that the dry port facility at Walvis Bay, along with the recent accord enabling our citizens to travel between our nations using only their national identity cards, aligning with the SADC Protocol on Facilitation of Movement of Persons Treaty, have significant potential to deepen the bilateral cooperation between our two countries. But besides that, the comparative advantages that both our countries have, and each presents itself as a unique opportunity to be seized as we bring them together. Despite these warm relations between our two nations, we have yet, Your Excellency, to fully tap into our bilateral economic prospects. Currently, our bilateral trade primarily revolves around exchange of diamonds. And I need not go into the figures, but a lot still can be done. Esteemed guests, Namibia has been procuring livestock vaccines from us to manage transboundary animal diseases like foot and mouth and cattle lung disease. This collaboration offers us the opportunity to conduct coordinated foot and mouth vaccination campaigns. Coordinated foot and mouth vaccination campaigns, and to ensure ongoing surveillance of foot and mouth disease in both countries. Yes, the pastor talked of the book of Genesis and the creation of human beings. We can also get into the vaccination campaigns of human beings and the surveillance of diseases of a human nature. Another opportunity, Your Excellency. Another opportunity, Your Excellency, is the fact that you have a port, or several ports, I might add. And we being land-linked and in need to communicate with the rest of the world using the most up-to-date technologies, the fiber optic and connectivity to other nations using undersea cables presents another wonderful opportunity. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is imperative for governments to uphold their responsibility in fostering trade and investment by establishing an environment that enables for the private sector to flourish. On a bilateral scale, the Trans-Kalahari Rail Line stands out as a crucial project that demands robust pursuit to enhance the transportation of goods between our two nations and the broader SADC region. There exists, Your Excellency, significant potential for enhanced cooperation between Botswana and Namibia. Both countries share common strengths in areas such as animal disease control protocols, range management practices, abattoir and meat hygiene practices, the wildlife conservation strategies. Not to mention diamonds. Diamonds. And more recently, copper. Furthermore, both nations provide distinctive tourism experiences and are renowned for their sought-after wildlife safari offerings. By engaging in joint marketing efforts of any of those that are deposed in our countries can extract more value from them, Your Excellency. Tourism, health, diamond trading, and other trade activities. Moreover, our two countries have both ratified comparable regional agreements, specifically the Southern Africa Development Community Free Trade Protocol and the Tripartite Free Trade Area Agreement, which spans the three regional economic communities of SADC, COMESA, and EAC. These agreements aim to boost trade by establishing a substantial single market comprising approximately 700 million people and boasting an estimated GDP of well over $1.4 trillion for our goods and services. This clearly illustrates the common ground we share in terms of global integration initiatives. Ladies and gentlemen, the collaborative efforts between Botswana and Namibia to enhance infrastructure connecting the two nations, thereby ensuring seamless movement of goods, service, and people, are ongoing. It is with pleasure that I announce the agreement to establish a one-stop border post in Mamuno, reflecting the advancement of negotiations on the draft agreement of the one-stop border posts. This progress follows Namibia's enactment of the one-stop border posts Act, underscoring our commitment to streamlining border processes for increased efficiency. And let this be the one step, Your Excellency. Let's do it to the other borders too. If you are ready and willing, I am too. And I bet you we can do it within less than 5 months. The Constitution of Botswana gives me enormous powers, Your Excellency. I have read the Constitution of Namibia. It does the same to you too. And power is to be used frugally and prudently. We will so do. Another potential area of collaboration exists in the energy sector, where Botswana Oil Company has initiated discussions with the Namibian National Petroleum Corporation to explore possibilities for cooperation in establishing shared fuel storage facilities in Walvis Bay. Shared, Your Excellency, the value proposition of any of the individual countries, either Botswana or Namibia, it is a hypothesis that the late President Gengob and I held deeply, is not as powerful or impactful as the value proposition of the two together. And so what I say must be viewed in this light when we talk of the possibility of shared fuel storage facilities in Walvis Bay. Additionally, discussions include joint efforts for fuel transportation and coordinated approaches towards sourcing oil from Angola. That's before you source your own oil, Mr. President. This demonstrates a promising avenue for partnership in the energy domain between our two countries. I'm reliably informed also, Your Excellency, that much as Angola offered Botswana equity stake in its oil refinery, Namibia too was offered equity stake in that refinery. And I can reliably inform you that we in Botswana have said yes, and we're going to take up and pay for that equity in that refinery. I'm assuming the same applies to Namibia. Program Director, as I draw to the conclusion of my address, I have been informed that this expo will encompass business seminars featuring panel discussions and presentations on pertinent, relevant issues relevant to business sector and general economic activities. These seminars aim not only to facilitate engagement and information sharing, but also to influence policy direction by providing a platform for insightful discussions and knowledge exchange. Lastly, I extend my very deep appreciation to all the businesses exhibiting their products at this expo, recognizing them as vital contributors to private sector-led growth and diversification. I commend your dedication in enhancing your products and services, showcasing proactive economic participation that can propel our nations to greater prosperity. I encourage you to leverage this platform to forge and enhance partnerships that will advance the growth of your businesses, thereby expanding the economic foundation of our prospective countries. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, with these few remarks, it is with great honor and privilege that I officially declare the SWAKOPMUND International Trade Expo 2024 open. I thank you for your kind attention. Thank you for sparing me.
President Masisi, ke a leboga. That's all we can say. I think the fact that the relations between Namibia and Botswana have strengthened at such a velocity, at such a rate in the last few years, we can clearly see the fruits of the relationship. And we are extremely thankful, President Masisi, that you use your swaying powers quite effectively, that we can enjoy the type of relationships that we are enjoying currently between the two countries. I think as Namibians, and I think our governor who sits here especially can attest that it's quite a heartwarming experience during holiday periods. Whenever we drive on the streets of Swakopmund, the number of vehicles you see from Botswana that's in this town, this coastal town, is really testament as to the hospitality value of our coast. Once again, thank you very much. But President Masisi, I cannot just let you go. I just warmed you up. I have an issue with you. I realize that the delegation that you so fondly talk about that's here today are mostly men. And I have an issue with that personally because, you know, with the last, we just finished our national population census in our country last year. And it shows that Namibian women outnumber Namibian men 3-1. Which means for every Namibian man, if you want to. Now, President Masisi, you brought men here. Please, President, we don't need your help. So take your cabinet of men and go back tomorrow. We are fine. We are fine. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We have, in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, because of time, we are changing the program a little bit. We got 2 awards that we would like to present to our respective excellencies, and then we will have the vote of thanks, do the national and the AU anthems, and then we will then proceed outside for the ribbon cutting and then the official opening, and that will all be happening outside. But at this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to call on Her Worship, the Mayor of this beautiful town of Swakopmund, Ausi Dinah Numubes. Giri toch ibe, Ausi.
Thank you so much. Director of Ceremonies, Mr. Neville Bason, thanks for the opportunity. I would like to stand on the protocols that has been established earlier, but as the welcoming has been done already by our governor, I would just like to formally tell the Excellencies that SWAKOPMUND is the home for everyone, so please feel like home. Thank you so much. This special award has been prepared for His Excellency Dr. MOKGWEETSI MASISI, the President of the Republic of Botswana. The second award is for our lovely father, His Excellency Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, the President of the beautiful Republic of Namibia. Thank you so much.
Going home. Like the minister.
We are now certified.
Thank you very much. That was the mayor of the beautiful town of SWAKOPMUND, Her Worship Diana Nomubes, with the presentation of the awards. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, I would like to call on the CEO of the NCCI, Ms. Charity Muya, to come to the front for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Director of Ceremonies. I am truly humbled to be given this opportunity to say a vote of thanks on behalf of the NCCI, the entire leadership of NCCI, the membership of NCCI. But before we do that, Your Excellencies, usually on an occasion like this, we would like to recognize the people that have been really behind the scenes to enable us to host an event of this nature. But before also I say that on the awards that we normally give, there's usually competition. We judge the stands in terms of how they've exhibited. Because of time, we will only be doing those awards tomorrow. However, there's a very special award that we would want to leave to the Excellencies and the public themselves to judge. This is in memory of a special person. And we figured out that these three brothers actually share something in common. Let's just take a look at our screens and see the contestants of this award.
Masisi,
So please, when you go on the NCCI stand, you will see the box there. Please just put in the name of the winner, and we will announce the winner tomorrow. Thank you, Your Excellencies. At this juncture, we will really want to extend our appreciation to Your Excellencies for accepting our invitation, not only the challenge of my president calling presidents, my president with a small p, calling presidents to an event of this nature, but also at short notice. You agree with me? But I think there's symbolic to that. Usually, many African states are known for a lot of bureaucracies, but we wanted to prove in Namibia that that doesn't work. When it comes to the private sector, we knock on our government's doors, and we know that they will listen to us. So thank you very much. Swaitex is not just a platform for any accolades of men. Swaitex, as has been said already, platforms of this nature is really to bring together the business communities so that we can engage and really change the future of the Africa that we want to see. And I'm glad that as a chamber, having been mandated with the responsibility of ensuring that we promote trade or facilitate trade, we're doing this collectively with our stakeholders and with the support in particularly of our line Ministry of Industrialization and Trade, the Namibia Investment Promotion and Development Board, and all other stakeholders. We are very grateful for your support. However, President Masisi, when you spoke about the importance of these kind of platforms and that they're required to be equipped and resourced, chambers all over the world, as you know, they're not really quite resourced. So it depends so much on our membership, the business community and stakeholders to support us to be able to carry out on our mandate. And with that, I would like to acknowledge the people or the companies that have been behind us to make sure that we are able to host this Swaitex 2024. Kayeso Energy, that has been actually our God sponsor. Thank you so much. We also would like to appreciate our silver sponsors, being Standard Bank, Namibia Diamond Trading Company, NDTC, my apologies. Those are our silver sponsors. We also acknowledge our bronze sponsors being Deb Marine, Letsaho Bank, Inno Harith Capital, and NamPower. Thank you so much for your support. Our other sponsors being Namibia Agronomic Board, FNB, SWAKOPMUND Branch, SWAKOPMUND shines really, Roads Authority, Namibri, AgriBank, and the Namibia Airports Company. Of course, my president had just had to do that. We also would like to acknowledge many of the partners that came on board and supported us in kind. Your Excellency, if you look around as you were walking, probably you saw quite a lot of young people here. Most of these young people are really volunteers. They don't really ask anything in monetary terms. But we had to reach out to many of our businesses so that they can support us, ensuring that we are able to feed many of these young people, ensuring that the environment is actually clean, and would like to acknowledge the following companies: Namib Mills, Mitco, Dinapama Manufacturing, Guanas Packaging, Namibia Breweries. Please, we're not drinking beer, but we will make sure that you people, you really drink beer. Townview Guest House, AB InBev, apologies. Rent a Drum, West Coast Toilet Hire, Shafa Trading, Multicodes, Jaire Estates. But importantly, we also want to recognize the stakeholders that really played an important role in making sure that Swaitex happens every year. Firstly, this goes to the Urongo Regional Council, your governor, Honorable Governor. We appreciate your support all the time. The SWAKOPMUND Municipality, precious Mayor, Honorable Diana, my colleague and my brother, Benjamin, Alpheus Benjamin, the CEO of the SWAKOPMUND Municipality, and your team. We appreciate all the work that has really been going behind the scenes to make this event actually happen. We would like also to acknowledge our partners, being Equipped Dance Academy, the National Youth Service. Many a times, I think people do not understand what this National Youth Service really means. But many of you probably, even as you entered the gate, everywhere you go, the kind of security that you find there is the professionalism for the young people, and we appreciate the work that you're doing. And that is really symbolic of our government trying to discipline our young people and making sure that they're equipped for the world. Thank you so much, National Youth Council. We would like to thank also the Ministry of Youth, Sports, okay, the long name. They are actually the owners of the stadium. So quite often we really are very grateful for the work that also goes behind the scene, although with restrictions, of course. And we want to apologize to exhibitors when we tell you not to really park your cars on this tarmac because it's quite costly. So Business Namibia, we want you to invest more in sport and make sure that you build more stadiums. It's a challenge to you. We would like also to thank our directors, my president, Mr. Bizi Urab, our directors that are present here, and those actually that are not present, for all your support in ensuring that we are able to carry our mandates. I would like to thank particularly also my colleagues from the office. I'm only shining here, but there are people that really work behind the scenes. I thank you all. Members of the media, in particular NBC, that has really been a supportive partner in ensuring that you get the nation informed in the work that we do, not only in Swaitex. We thank you very much. We would like to make sure also to announce that we will be holding our business seminars tomorrow and on Friday. Please make sure that you register to attend. These are free, and we hope that these platforms will actually also make sure that we try to also post for some of the policy directives that we're engaging government with. Would like also to thank you, the business community that actually came. My apologies. I'd like to thank also the Minister of Ghana who actually joined us today. Thank you so much. As a matter of fact, the man that made sure that we actually had our meats make inroads into the Ghanaian market, Thomas Abanga, I know that he is here with us. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for coming. We'd like to thank most of all our executives, all of you that actually came, both from Ghana, Botswana, and Namibia. Please engage more in our activities so that you are able to seal deal and we are able to actually chant the Africa that you want to see. If I have actually left anyone else, please forgive me. It's not intentional, but we appreciate all the efforts that are coming from everyone else. At this juncture, I would also want now to make a few announcements in terms of the procession from here. We will actually do the officiating outside. We request members, the rest of you, please just to stand on the sidewalks so that we actually observe the procession. Afterwards, we will move into the exhibition center or the exhibition tent. We take through our excellencies just some of the few stands that we would like you actually to visit. Thereafter, all our sponsors, our executives, if you have not actually gotten your meal voucher, please look for Antonia as you leave the door there, and the voucher will indicate the venue for the luncheon or the business luncheon. Thank you very much once again, and may God, who is at the center of all of this, be glorified in all that we do. Thank you so much, and God bless us all. Never, because he's my brother, I tend to forget. Last time it happened, I need to do this. Never, you've been good. Thank you so much for always supporting us, although you didn't make us laugh too much today, but thank you so much.
Charity. Nalitumela. Thank you very much. Charity, I must tell you, as the videos were playing here on stage, of the three respective presidents, I overheard President Bumba just whispering after the video stopped. He said, there's no competition there. So like you voted well in advance, you know, in 2014. We already knew in 2014, before the presidential election in 2015, we already knew who would become president at that particular time. So please don't waste your time. Just do the just do the right voting, please. President Masisi, but you know what? Seeing those videos here today is so heartwarming. And yes, our president is not with us physically here today, but he will always remain with us in spirit, and may he rest in eternal power. Thank you very much. But President Masisi, I must tell you that I've not always had it my way with the former president. There was times that he would really get me where he would embarrass me, because then he would jab me back. I made the mistake one day by taking my mother to the president's house to meet him there. And as we were sitting there, my mother, because my mother asked, or the president asked my mother, how did this boy grow up? Was he always this naughty? So my mother, relays my upbringing, but my mother tells the president that she almost aborted me. Because this was in the late 60s, and my mother was 19 years old when she conceived me. Now, a daughter in Katutura in the late 60s, you come home, you are pregnant. Your father can do something to you. So my mother, she relays the story to the president that she went to Koreagap Dam. You all know where Koreagap Dam is. But something told her not to do it. Oh! The president loved that story. So he used that against me all the time when I'm out of order. So last year at the jazz festival, the president sits there, and there were people sitting there, and it's the first thing that he would say to me, and you shut up. You were almost aborted by your mother. Well, I don't know why your mother did not abort you. Oh. But those were fun times, and we will always remember that for the right reasons. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our program. At this particular juncture, can I humbly ask you to please rise for the singing of the various anthems, the Botswana National Anthem, the Namibian National Anthem, and the AU Anthem. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We will remain in the hall as our delegation will be leaving the marquee tent. Ladies and gentlemen, we will then proceed outside where the order of sequence in terms of the cutting of the ribbon, etc., will then be taking place with the official opening. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good day. God bless.
Nedike nitete omsata nikhoke beje nedike nitete omsata nikhoke beje hey nirat kengasoresa ti kamron ning omngahe hey nirat kengasoresa ti kamron ning omngahe netike unitete tomsata nikhoke beje netike unitete tomsata nikhoke beje hey nirat kengasoresa chikamron ning omngahe hey nirat kengasoresa chikamron ning omngahe.
Unveil the Your Excellency. Yes. You're okay. That's right. It would have been better. Okay.
for Sustainable Growth in Africa. The 9th edition of Swaitex was officially opened by HE Dr. MOKGWEETSI E.K. MASISI, President of the Republic of Botswana, on Wednesday, 3rd July 2024 in SWAKOPMUND. Swaitex, Namibia's premier platform for business.
The ribbon there, and please present them with the scissors for the ribbon cutting. President, please, you are the host. Okay. Present the scissors. Two, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Thank you. You're excellent. What you see here, only good.